Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my director spotlight on Yasuzo Masumura, who began his directing career in 1957 and continued to direct into the early 1980s. Now, one of the traits that you will find in his filmography is the sexually charged undercurrent that frequently appears, but is used in many cases to accentuate the dramatic themes. Now, Masumura is one of those Japanese directors who has received only minimal attention from Western cinephiles. If someone told me that they've never even seen a film from this director, I would not be surprised. In fact, if someone told me that they've never even heard of this director or the titles to any of his films, I would also not be surprised. However, he has made some very interesting contributions to cinema during his career, a few of which I would consider to be must-sees. And I can guarantee you that most movie fans would enjoy the two films that are in the number 1 and number 2 spots in my top 10. So let's get to the list here. My thoughts on each film will be very brief, primarily because this is a list video, not a review. And remember, titles for all of the movies I discuss are listed in the description box below. I am not providing availability information in this playlist because most of these films I saw years ago, and availability has changed over time. My usual method for checking availability is a Google search, so be sure to seek out any films that seem interesting to you. So let's get rolling. Number 10, A WifeConfesses, 1961. This is a drama romance. A woman is charged with murdering her much older academic husband while climbing a mountain, and her apparent extramarital affairs complicate the trial. This is a well-made film overall with an interesting scenario that surrounds the death of the husband, but I do think that it has some pacing issues. The lead actress is Ayako Wakao, who would reappear in a handful of Masumura's other films, and for good reason. She's a very good actress, and one of her best performances will be saved for my number 2 film on this list. Number 9, Double Suicide of Sonezaki, 1978. This is a drama. This film is about an emotional prostitute, played by Meiko Kaji, who is in love with a penniless merchant. Now, financial pressures force the two lovebirds into dire straits. Basic stuff from a story and character standpoint, but nicely directed with fine performances. In fact, this is one of the most enjoyable performances by Kaji I've ever seen, and she plays against type when compared to her more popular roles. Number 8, Kisses, 1957. This is a drama, romance. Masumura's first film as lead director is about a young man and woman who seek out 100,000 yen to release their fathers from prison. Along the way, they bond together. Now, the lead actress, Hitome Nozoe, is gorgeous, energetic, and likable as she earns the viewer's sympathy for her financial struggles. Some of the earlier romantic dating sequences are particularly fun to watch. Some online reviewers have likened the style of this film to the French New Wave. Number 7, Black Test Car, 1962. This is a drama. Now, this one is about two car manufacturers who spy on each other in an attempt to discover details and prices of a new sports car that each is about to launch. It's interesting to see the lengths to which these rivals will go in order to gain the upper hand. Stuff like intelligence gathering, extortion, bribes, sexual espionage, etc. And the corporate warfare theme is explored in entertaining ways. Number 6, A Lustful Man, 1961. This is a comedy drama. This film is about a cheerful fellow who lives to make women happy. He does this by bedding widows and or spreading wealth to women in need. Now, this story is episodic, bouncing around from place to place as our protagonist does his best for his many female acquaintances. Now, Masumura here is more interested in character interaction and a few choice themes, such as mistreatment of women, poverty, prostitution, and capitalism. The humor is effectively chuckle-worthy and should please most viewers who are in the right mood. Number 5, Hanzo the Razor 2, The Snare, 1973. This is an action drama. A deadly samurai with a bad temper and knowledge of torture devices is sent by his superiors to take down an infamous thief. Now, this series of films is notorious for its exploitative elements of sexuality, but that aspect is actually somewhat downplayed in the second installment that was directed by Masumura. Now sure, there is some sexual content that is portrayed in an absurd comical manner, but this really is more like a quality period piece than an exploitation film. The fight scenes are nicely bloody, and the lead actor is convincing. Number 4, Irezumi, 1966. This is a thriller. A woman is forced against her will as a prostitute and is given a Spider-Woman tattoo on her back, but she becomes oddly absorbed in her profession as she spins a web of deception around her male suitors. Masumura provides fine direction as the film starts with a lengthy flashback, then transitions to the protagonist's manipulations. This is a quality flick with a few bloody deaths to enjoy, and Ayako Wakao again shows up in the lead role. I really enjoy Irezumi and strongly recommend it to fans who are in the mood for an edgy, artistic revenge flick. Number 3, The Music, 1972. This is a drama. This film is about a sexually repressed woman who seeks help from a psychiatrist to cure her odd condition. She has grown desensitized to a number of things and has bizarre sexual fantasies. Now, much of the film takes place in a psychiatrist's office and shows their discussions regarding her past, dreams, and desires. But these conversations are supplemented with some WTF images of perversion that make for some rousing viewing. The script also does a good job at providing an interesting character study. Another high-quality, sexually charged film from Masumura that will greatly please a certain kind of viewer. Number 2, Red Angel, 1966. This is a war drama romance. Set in 1939, during the Sino-Japanese War, a young nurse is sent to the field hospitals in China to assist doctors in treating severely wounded soldiers. Now, this is a moderately violent movie involving bloody surgery scenes, but it also has considerable emphasis on sensuality and romance amidst the carnage and disease. War is depicted here as physically and emotionally brutal, and there's a multifaceted approach to its depiction of Japanese soldiers because it shows their depraved animalistic misconduct, as well as the horrific situation that has driven them to the brink of sanity. There's one good battle sequence near the end, but the intent of this film is to impact the viewer on a dramatic level, and this could be Ayako Wakao's best performance. And finally, my number 1 favorite Yasuzo Masumura film is, of course, Blind Beast from 1969. This is a horror drama film. A blind sculptor in search of the perfect female body kidnaps a beautiful model and takes her back to his lair. This is an interesting situation, and the character interaction is intriguing as the model attempts to manipulate the sculptor and his mother in an attempt to find a way to escape. There are some fairly abrupt plot developments, but they do follow a logical progression. The house includes a private art studio with bizarre statues and giant figures of body parts. It's a creepy but also very cool setting that's used for almost the entire film. There are some erotic themes, but there are really no sex scenes that are shown on screen per se. The characters are interesting and the finale is rather disturbing. In terms of pure entertainment value, this is my personal favorite Masumura film. So those were my personal favorite Yasuzo Masumura films. So I hope this list can provide some recommendations for those who are unfamiliar with this director. He's good. He's got some good stuff out there, and some of the higher ones on my list are definitely must-sees. And if you've seen some of his films already, tell me your favorites in the comments section below. And as always, I'll see you next time.